We're back again. Fry's payment day. Also, Snitch's payment day. But he hasn't really given me any information, so I don't see why I should pay him. Stockman, Mr. Nash, I'm back and ready for action. I hope you didn't catch criminals without me. You're apparently drunk again. Alright, well, I'm going to pay for you to get... both of you to get treated. Because... Alright, let's auto-sign everything. Need some more equipment, that's for sure. How much money do we have? Oh, investigation. You know what that... Do we have all the things? Okay. No, okay, so this is not... Okay, yeah, that's right. We arrested the nurse. Alright, flower pot. Alright, flower pots. Let's go for the homeless man. I feel like the funeral director could have easily just walked in. Alright. Need to pay Fry. Get ready, otherwise an anonymous call will tell the feds exactly where you need to go. Okay, got 20,000 bucks. No, not buy. Sell. We'll sell one cocaine. Alright. I think that should be plenty of munsies. Yep, alcoholism treatment, yes. Alright, Finken, you drive. Stockman. Your mother tell you to brush your teeth twice a day? I always clean mine 3, 4, sometimes even 5 times a day. But they all turned black anyway. My aunt was right. The women in our family are cursed. It's probably because my great-great-grandmother quarreled with the lotus, the high mountain spirit. But something happened that can only be called a miracle. When I started drinking furry cola? Furry cola? It's, sorry if you're hearing grass cutting noises. That's part of the game and not someone cutting my grass right now. Totally. That's unfortunate. Alright, so my teeth started getting stronger. I started rinsing my mouth out with this wonderful drink, and the effects are undeniable. It's probably somehow connected with how the creator of Furry Cola died a horrible death. Maybe his soul has taken on the part of Stefanovich's curse. I don't know. I'm no expert. I only know that I need more Furry Cola so I finally get a chance to date a normal guy. I mean, you look kind of old in general. Kind of miss your chance. Somebody better than my grouchy husband. Well, I guess. It seems like you already have. Anyways, it's been a long time since they sold this drink at the store. Everybody says they stopped making it, but there still has to be some old stock at the warehouse. Let a couple of your not-so-dumb cops go over there, bring me back as many healing green bottles as they can find. If they manage to bring some back, then you're free to get anything from my store except Miracle Cola, of course. Intelligence, Yarbrut, intelligence, Belmont. Alright.
514 in progress.
Attempted carjacking. The factory manager looked out as often as saw someone trying to steal his car. Alright, Rosenkrantz, you take Jacob, and Jackson.
.564 in progress.
A school board claims that some hunchbacked lady grows marijuana in her greenhouse. Alright, Spurlock, you take Mustard. Wait, Mustard, Kate's... Sorry, Spurlock, you stay behind. Woolbag, Leet. There you go. Think Mr. Nash, I won't ever drown in the bottle again. Awesome. The lock they had in the warehouse was child's play. We got in there no problem and grabbed the furry coolers we could find. We might have had a bottle or two in the process, but who cares, right? It's a magical drink after all. I got some toilet paper, got some razors, and we got $700. Bad. What can we buy from you? Ooh, is there a big TV? Home set. Portable TV set. I don't think that's a... I just need a large TV. Is that a large TV? Buy an extra one of those. You know what, we'll just go ahead and buy this and... I don't think that's right. I think we have plenty of VCRs. You know what, just in case. There we go. We have two possible... Oh, we only have... Okay, I didn't buy the other one apparently. I'll buy it then. So we have two possible things. Alright, a bunch of people coming back. Suspect is down. Jacket has picked up a brick off the ground. Apparently he attempts to smash the car's window to get the door open. Do I have sneak? I don't. Order the thief to drop the brick and surrender. Rosencrantz, order him to surrender.
514
The thief obeyed
complete.
the cop and surrendered to the police. It turned out that he just wanted to take revenge on the factory manager for firing him unfairly by trading his car at the scrapyard. The guy smells like he's been swimming in alcohol. That's not efficient use. At least just put it in your mouth. Interception perk. Shoot the perk. Alright. Alright, Pinkin. Let's fix Atkins. This is the best thing I've ever done. Alright.
535 in progress.
Rouse Piccoli's mill. Walking through the forest, some school children saw a girl tied to one of the wind blades of an abandoned mill, and an elderly man shouting something about evil spirits. Alright, Stockman. We take Spurlock, Belmont, and Titus. Okay. You take this. Judge Trent announced the verdict of the case of the night terrors of the ward. The defendant was found guilty. Yes. Nice work, people. Flower pots, full shooting. Penkin, full intelligence. Goodwin, stealth. Nice work, everyone. Nice work.
554 in progress.
Door to the greenhouse is tightly closed. No one seems to be around. Don't have... We'll turn on the siren. Let's turn on the siren. The cops turned on the siren and an old woman came out of the greenhouse holding a homemade flamethrower. Hastily began burning the greenhouse. Alright. Shoot the criminal, Rosencrantz.
564
The elderly
complete.
woman was... Shot the elderly woman with a flamethrower. I feel like that suggests that the cop shot her with a flamethrower, but you know, English language. It's all, you know. It's all good. It's all good. Awareness perk, full intelligence. That's good. That's good. Elite, full speed. Alright, now he's a beast of catching criminals. Alright. Got plenty of people now. So Rosencrantz. A handyman reports that someone has stolen his lunch along with valuable officer's watch from the bag he'd left in the stable. Alright, Jacob and Jackson. Get out there, buddies. Got a bunch of people heading home now. Thank you, Mr. Nash. I won't ever return to the bottle again. You're welcome, Atkins. I feel like this will not last long. Okay. Oh. Mission Ash, you're new to the city, so I don't know if you've heard of the local legends about the treasures that the spore spirits hid. The righteous one. My brother has never met anyone, so I figured the treasures must still be lying somewhere. Drew Mac. What do I need to send you? Make sure. And I can't remember hardly anything. Constant whooshing sound that pierced my bones. Came to my senses back since maybe we angered the spirits. Made that. But I'd like to know for sure what happened. If you send one of your smartest cops out there, I'll be sure to give him the map where the treasure is marked. Alright, Atkins. I would send Penkin, but I don't know if he has... I feel like he has the smarts, but he might not have the rest. An elderly man with a gun over his shoulder has tied a girl to one of the blades of an abandoned mill and disappeared. Inside the blades of the mills are swaying in the wind, and the girl's crying in horror, yelling, "Daddy, don't do this." Alright. Sneak into the house, Stockman. The cop crept in the house unnoticed. The man with a gun on his shoulder is vigorously walking around the room. It seems he's looking for something. He's holding a canister in his hand. Alright, restrain the suspect.
535.
The cop managed to overpower and arrest the criminal. The cop then untied the girl without any further harm. It turned out the man thought the daughter was possessed by the forest spirit of Pyros and wanted to purify her with fire and wind. He decided to follow the instructions of the mill's old owner, Ralph Piccoli, who had already managed to purify his 6-year-old niece. I feel like this forest spirit's gonna come into play, but I could be wrong. Give you full strength. Okay. Hopefully Atkins doesn't die.
510 in progress.
Like, I've literally been here for 5 seconds. A blue sedan pulling out of the gas station, an 18-wheeler rammed into it at high speeds. Alright, Mustard, you got this. Theft. Pigs smelled bacon crumbs and escaped their pen to help themselves. Together with the man's food, they accidentally gobbled down the watch that was laying beside it. The case was solved by following the trail of breadcrumbs. I sure hope that wasn't the, like, 20 people that I sent to that one mission. The truck is turned over on its side and the driver clearly drunk is climbing out carrying a fire extinguisher. The blue sedan is smashed to pieces and flipped upside down and has been engulfed in flames. Inside is a woman and 2 young children. I restrain the truck driver. The cop grabs and rigs the drunk truck driver and puts his face in the asphalt next to the fire extinguisher. Flames engulfs the blue sedan.
510 complete.
Cop pulled the burning car and pulled the woman and children from the wreckage. They got off scrapes and bruises. Good job. Good job, Mustard. Full shooting. Alright.
542 in progress.
Prostitution. Prostitutes servicing several men at once on a bench in the park. That just sounds like good business. Alright. Alright, we'll wait for someone better. I hate Spurlock so much. Mustard. Full bag. Not enough. Alright. Stockman. And wool bag. What do we need here? Got a problem with my daughter camping in the forest. Please send 3 of your most attentive cops into the forest. Attentive? Guess that'd be intelligence? Try to find his daughter.
514 in progress.
Okay. Garmer Funeral Home, a disgruntled employee decided to augment his salary by stealing a hearse. Rosencrantz, go with Mustard. And Jackson. And Jackson. And Titus. I'm so annoyed. Secret of the... Okay. I think it's the homeless man. Cart rides the cart around the morgue, throws a piece of brick through the morgue window, drops the generator from the morgue's window into his cart, pushes the cart away with the generator, climbs into the broken window, Drops generator to the morgue's window. Okay, so... Okay, throws these generators, okay, climbs into the broken window, drags it to the window, puts it into his cart, runs away, and died. Alright, the large hearse is slowly turning down the road away from the funeral home. Order him to turn off his engine. Negotiate with him. That was easy. Suspect obeyed the cop and surrendered. Good work. Several men with their trousers down are standing in a semicircle around the bench. The elderly demonstrator is hard at work. Turn on the siren, Shotgun. Men are frightened in the siren, rush around in all directions, grabbing their pants as they stumble. The prostitute is upset the police frightened her clients and grabs a grenade from her purse. A colonel left me his little girl as a tip, said it will make anybody shut up and pay. Shoot her with a taser. Let's defuse the situation.
542
Cop
complete.
stunned the offender with a taser shot. The grenade, it turns out, was only a stun grenade. When she came to the woman, shared some wisdom she accumulated over the years. This life, baby, it's war. You wouldn't believe how many muskets I had to unload just to survive. That doesn't make sense. Muskets in this time? That's completely, that doesn't make sense at all. I'll look at that in a second. Spends his days in the park collecting bottles and begging. Sleeps near the morgue. Alright, he's probably asleep at this point. Mustard, you take... Jacob? No, she's a woman. Dang it. Alright, Rosencrantz, you take Spurlock. Forest. Mr. Nash, I found 3 boxes of gold. I'm not quite sure how it happened. I remember walking through the forest, following the notes and element, and suddenly the sky got dark, the air got thick, and I heard a whooshing sound. It seems I have lost consciousness. I woke up back outside the forest covered in dirt, and beside me there were 3 boxes with gold. Okay. It's time. Did you get enough? Yes, I did. There you go, Buddy Fry. Thanks. Alright. Offender caught. Good job. Double promotion. Alright, we'll give you some speed. Spurlock will max out your intelligence so that we can send you on investigations and you just never do anything ever. Thank you very much. Alright, most of the cops are working their way. Forest. Mr. Nash, we found the girl. She was wandering around not very far into the forest. Her father was happy and asked us to tell you that he would welcome guests at our house anytime, day or night. What kind of guest is he talking about, I wonder? Any person... Well, I mean, like, that's not an evil thing to do. I saved a guy's daughter. That's really just a public service. And now I can give gold bars to this guy who wanted them so I can, murder Spurlock whenever she gets injured. I mean, Spurlock's great. She's the best cop ever. I hate Spurlock. I was like, oh, she became loyal, so now she'll do everything for me. She won't complain at all. Nothing bad will ever happen. But nope. Nope. She's still annoying as heck. That's right. I said it. I said heck. Arrest me. Nice one, Carter. Can I give you a high five? Ooh, to your face. That's right. And it's my turn. Baton. Picture. The guy's name is literally Age. And he's amazing. How could I not get this cop? I'm going to get Guzman as well. Those are 2 great cops, actually. You can have Dulce. Oh, you don't have enough. Oh, I'm sorry, Carter. That's unfortunate. Oh, man. Just so close. I can't believe the guy's name is literally Age. That's kind of crazy. Gold bag. Brodka's not there yet. Nikip. Demers. Kurosawa. Muzikin. Percy, and Goodwin. I need 3 more cops on this shift. 1, 2. Okay, I need at least 1 more. So who wants to volunteer for this shift? Gonna get Guzman. And then the 2 injured people will eventually join this shift again, I guess. Who's the... I think Guzman was the new guy. He's already slightly tired. Alright.
Mr. Boyd, finally. I was starting to wonder if you were going to spend the night.
Shut your mouth.
Mr. Boyd, listen, I understand you don't talk much. I get it. After all, you would never have... Well, you wouldn't have been able to do what you've done if you were a chatterbox. Yeah? But I'm not asking you for a big speech. I'm not asking you to give me a master class in corruption. No, nothing like that. I'm only asking for one small story about the DeVroom painting. The newspapers never gave out too many details since the investigation was ongoing. But what's the difference now? What's left to hide? The painting couldn't be found, right? You made extra sure that it couldn't be found. Well, let's drink a beer sometime. Not today. No, tomorrow, or the day after, or the day after the day after tomorrow. Just whatever's good for you. You see, I'm really interested in this. How did you pick that job? I mean, what did you want with that picture? I mean, that one in particular. It's a pretty specific choice. You know, it's a controversial artist. The critics don't agree. I've never heard of corrupt officials stealing paintings. They all take bribes, just bundles of money in paper bags, you know. Of course, I'm not comparing you to those ordinary rotten geezers. Not at all. I just wanted to say that even though I don't know all the details, I see that you've got your own style. Whether you realize it or not, that's why the press called you the Caesar of corruption. You can find lots of kings of corruption in the newspapers. There's a new one every month, but I've never seen a Caesar. Because Caesar... That's not about the scale, but the style. Style is everything, right?
Please, Mr. Boyd.
Why on earth should I get into the car with a stranger?
Given your history, I'd imagine that you often had to get into a car with strangers. Back in Freeburg.
Freeburg is different.
Is it really so different?
Absolutely.
Friendlier?
Warmer.
Well, that's not saying much. Anywhere is warmer than here.
How?
Excuse me?
How did you know who I was?
How many ads were there?
Ads?
Well, I'd be willing to bet that when you came here, you went looking for housing in the newspaper ads. How many ads did you look at?
I don't know. Maybe a dozen.
But you chose this house. Why?
Because it stands away from everything.
Well, that's a reasonable choice. Unfortunately, the neckties choose their houses by the exact same principle. They stash their goods in isolated houses until they can find a big buyer, but they don't settle into the house. They let someone else rent it. It's safer that way.
Look, I'm not interested in how these neckties do business. I just want to know how they found out my real name.
I'm not a big fan of drug dealers, Mr. Boyd, but I have to give them their due. Many of them are amazingly smart, much smarter than your average drug dealer, you know. And the man who was appointed to watch your house, Arthur Sherman, well, it turns out he's quite the brain. He even went to college. Can you imagine? Arthur is so clever that when he realized that you're Jack Boyd, he didn't report it to his bosses. You see, the Ties are a wandering gang. Yesterday they worked in Ripton, today they're here, tomorrow they'll be somewhere else. They just shoot you to be safe, and that would be the end of it. But Arthur is clever, and he knew how valuable the information was, so he did the clever thing and brought it to me.
But how did he know who I was? How exactly?
Ask him yourself when you get the chance. Oh, looks like we've arrived. Mr. Boyd, are you coming?
Are you completely out of your mind? I'm a wanted man. I shouldn't be showing my face in public, even if it is old and shaggy.
Come on, Mr. Boyd. There's only drunk pigs and sweaty strippers in there. Nobody'll even look at you. Don't you want to drink a mug of draft beer for the first time in months and burp loud enough that everyone hears? Aren't you tired of hiding? Don't you just want to be an ordinary person?
You saw where I live. Now I want to see where you live. Don't you think that's fair?
Okay, you win. But I'll never believe that you don't miss letting loose.
That's not the only thing I miss. Not the only thing, and not the main thing.
I understand. Well, here's where we live.
What? We can't go inside?
Well, I didn't go into your house. I stood 100 yards away. Now we're even. Don't you think that's fair?
Arthur Sherman. I want to talk to him.
Mick, bring Sherman here. I'm sure he must still be awake. Sean told me about this Captain Britt Carter of yours. Now, if you want,
It won't be a problem.
You sure?
I can manage.
If you have any difficulties, just let me know. I could... well...
And I thought you were a smuggler, not a butcher.
I don't like the word smuggler.
Then maybe you shouldn't smuggle.
Well, I'll put it this way. I don't like what you mean by the word smuggler. You must be right. Freeburg and Sharpwood are very different. What kind of goods came through Freeburg? Automatic weapons? Heroin? People? I'll be honest with you, I can't brag that I never had to trade in the first, second, or third, but my most popular product is canned soup. Mushroom soup comes in a little red jar. Now this is coming from a man who spent over 30 years eating a tasteless soldier's rations and not complaining. And I can assure you that this soup is the most disgusting meal in the world. When you pop open the jar with a can opener, this smell immediately bolts up your nose. The smell of despair, you know? It's impossible to suck down this vomit without thinking for even a second that your life is going nowhere. Sharpwood kids, when they grow up and leave this place for the rest of their lives, they'll always shudder when they remember this awful soup. But only the lucky ones, the few who manage to get out. The rest will live here for the rest of their days, eating smelly soup and then feeding it to their own children. Because without 12-cent soup, they'd all die. I give them this life, with the smell of despair. Bitter, but life. I don't know what cruel word to call what I'm doing, but I'm definitely not a smuggler. And I want that... There's your college boy, Mr. Boyd.
Give me a cigarette. Still alive, Mr. Boyd. Oh, wow.
How did you know who I was?
Were you really hiding all that well? You hitchhiked on your way to Sharpwood. Well, not to Sharpwood, of course, but to Big Rift. And from there you walked on foot, but before Big Rift, a red-haired guy named Locke drove you. Picked you up at a bus stop 70 miles down the highway. Buses from Garensburg pass that stop every 6 days. In Garensburg, you spent 2 nights at the Stone Woodpecker Hotel. I called down there and had a nice chat with Mrs. Hopper, who...
Just stop! So you're really that clever, Arthur Sherman? Proud of your little investigation?
If I'd known this investigation would turn me into a hostage to rednecks playing toy soldiers, I wouldn't have stuck my nose in your business, Mr. Boyd.
Hostage?
Arthur can't leave the barracks. It's for his own safety. In addition, he likes to live by military regulations. Isn't that right, Arthur?
This shit you're pulling here isn't military order. It's the middle of the night, but everyone's awake.
He's right, Mr. Boyd. It's high time for bed.